intriguing one, especially on the Hanwha Life side. So let's get those confirmations. Who's in the jungle? It's Peanut on the left. He will be there for Gen G, but look who's making his long-awaited, at least by me, summer debut.
Yeah.
Tempt finally in the lineup for the team of Hanwha Life.
Yeah, going to be Bono in the jungle there as well, no Muujin, and I'm actually very happy to see that one. Also, so on, towards the top side of the map, so no Tal this time, and like you said,
on the receiving end of a couple of smashings that come in here, with potentially the meta working in their way, especially on the red side, you can ban away the karma that you just know Gen G are clamoring to lock in.
Having a look at his face right now, looks like he has made up his mind. His key's going to lock him away. Some Demacian justice to be issued on Summoner's Rift here, as these are your team compositions. Hanwha Life weren't actually going for any shenanigans with their Pike pick, but that is still going to be...
Fighting here is a bit more optional for Gen G, and they're actually threatening.
There is definitely a cannon barrage at the ready as Life comes in, but there is the Impale. Key tries to get away, but you're not going to get deep enough to dive away from that one. That's First Blood going to Ruler, and that's a... I'm scared. We're going to have a look at it one more time. I thought that was a replay, but this time Tempt might die. Nope. He's going to come in. Deep dive. He's going to be there.
Maybe two autos. Right. Two autos, Ren. Probably
here from Gen G. But now my turn. Teleport coming in. Kuzan's going to shift some sands. Cannon barrage used defensively now as there's the Emperor's Divide. It is a very dead Skarner, but that might be all they can find. Is the Pike is going to get picked up in response. Cube just wants to kill the Xin Zhao as well. Double kill now for the Gangplank. As in goes Kuzan. The Sand Soldiers not quite able to catch up to Tempt, but now they are. The Conquering Sands are in. So on. Looking for more, but not going to find it. Gen G trade up in a gank attempt that Hanwha Life Esports members. So going to be on cooldown for a little while here on Peanut's side. But Ruler, he just wants to take Tempt down. Key finds the Bone Skewer. Still some Ren stacks in there as there's the Flash Emperor's Divide. Tempt is going to go down. Songyun follows immediately. The Impale wasn't even used, and that's going to spell 3 kills for Gen G, and most likely a Baron. They've got Rend to secure it, and so much Baron damage with the Callista Razia.
And it doesn't seem like Gen G need any coffee after they wake up today. The moment they're ready to go, they're just blowing people up. Kuzan with a huge Emperor's Divide. On the backline, Tempt used his QSS early. His demise was trivial.
Yeah, was imminent, Papa Smithy.
Well,
they're not pushing 3 lanes thus far, but they're pushing 2 pretty hard as Soan has already popped the ultimate. Emperor's Divide, though, just puts Hanwha Life in a neat little box. Bono trying to get out of the way. The Impale is used, like you say, on the Aatrox. No more engage. Possible Trouble Bubble is going to land onto Life, but he's straight be much of an opportunity with Soan dead for another 20 seconds. The inhibitor turret is going to go down. Ruler at full health as the Trouble Bubble lands. Bono in a really rough spot. Gets the knock up, but now has to go golden. Life is frontlining. Ruler grabs that kill. Key tries to get death from below, but it's not even death. It's Life, guys, and he is licking everyone to death right now. Songyun not going to be able to get that kill back because the Devourer is in. Life is helping his AD carry as he has done so beautifully so far this season, and Gen G are continuing to push.
They're ravenous. They want to keep going. They're not waiting for respawns. They don't care about Peanut. They just want the win right now.
Yeah, Soan respawns and he's like, I'm ready to defend the base, but he's not. The rest of his team has died. Nexus Turret 1 is going to go down as an afterthought. Tempt is trying to get Paddle Stars in here, but they're doing nothing against the Baroned up minions. Second Nexus Turret dead. The other inhibitor...
There's no Nexus turret, guys.
Yeah, and you know how much that Nexus is worth? 50 gold, guys, and I have a feeling that Gen G might have that money. Emperor's Divide's huge to start off the fight. As Bono has the ultimate, it's trying to keep him alive, but it's just not working. Key's death from below doesn't work either. He goes down basically instantly. Soan will be inside the blood well, but you can see Ruler, he just wants to get the free kill on the mid laner, and now it's a Nexus in his sides. Ruler does find Life with the Fate's Call, and Soan, to his credit, gets out of the way of the knockup, but he's not going to get out of the way of the end of the game. An Abyssal Voyage just for fun, as Life will lick this Nexus to death, and Gen G with a very swift first game win.
They were scaling till they weren't, Atlas. We were watching, we were having our fun, we were talking about other stuff, and then the moment it clicked into position, wham, bam, and it's over. Congratulations, Gen G. It's only game number 1.
Very, very powerful. As that's a Lucian lock-in, and Kuzan back to his old favorite, and that's what happens when you've got a Karthus. Oh, man. Our friend LS would be so happy with this drop, Papa Smithy, because the only source of magic damage here is that you would take any day of the week. Hanwha actually grabbing the first real positive here this game, as there's the quickness. Immediately the Civ is going down low. You can't spell shield. Death, as now the kill comes in. 2 for 2, 2 versus 2 on the bottom side, and Gen G will win.
Turret plates and so much standing gold.
Okay, the quickness is just going to stand on top of this controller. It gets a flash immediately as the life binding does land onto Peanut. Final spark does do a lot of work, but Peanut is at safe distance. Bubble does come in. Kuzan has the cleanse, but decides not to use it. Life binding comes in, and the cleanse has to be used anyway. That is a big waste of a summon spell that could have been used earlier. Teleport to come in for the flank as Peanut has to flash to get himself out. There it is. The final spark comes forward. Ruler up into the air, but already the first damage has been done. But Cube, so much damage off to the side, and Ruler finishes it off. Towards the top side with his Moby boots. Bono's here as well. Ragnarok is going to get popped. Relentless Pursuit is in. Cleanse is down. Final Spark isn't quite going to land it, but the last auto from Sangyun will seal the deal. Kuzan used absolutely everything, and
they don't even blow the ult from Bono, but they're trying to make things happen. However, now...
Yep, Ruler's going to flash very, very early. Does have the Feather Storm, but I'm not sure it's going to save him. Blade Caller comes in. He has to walk through the Final Spark as he does fall down. Cube was thinking about the flank, but he didn't want to do it without. They do still have an AD carry on the side of Gen G as Peanut is threatening off to the side. Trouble Bubble lands onto the Aatrox, and this is a kill opportunity right now. Cube gets a few shields. Wall of Pain is there to try and protect, but it's not going to protect you from that tempt in there with this pit, and has flash available. But Trouble Bubbles are flying through. So one's in there as well. And Peanut very early on the stopwatch because he's so close to dead is now life. Able to get himself out of the fight. Tempt is going to go golden and eventually does fall down as Kuzan wants to get into this pit. There's no smite available. Bono secures it very easily. And doing a lot of damage. Peanut is in position for a smite, but he doesn't want to go into a 50-50 moment. Listen, Singularity's there. It is the smite picked up by Peanut. And Wall of Pain is available there as well to make sure that Hanwha can't actually get anything, but they actually understand that they can get on over here. Peanut with the Wall of Pain now on cooldown. That's a Trouble Bubble landing, and that means that Cube has to use a very early stasis. Can Peanut actually get into this pit? He is! He is in there! Can he get it with a late waste? No, he can't. Bono secures the Baron. The first Requiem comes in. Is it actually going to do anything is the question, as it is. The cannon falling down. Final Spark lands onto Cube, but he does manage to get that reset. 30% of his health bar is in. Umbral Dash gets him over the wall. That is going to be to relative safety, but you can see that Hanwha have the inside track to the Gen G base. This is a dead turret on the top side. They're corralling the Gen G members.
Temp's out of mana though, so he doesn't do much damage here, remember that.
Yeah, Teleport now going to be utilized as well. That's going to get Cube back with a full health bar. And now Hanwha are the team that have to be scared. Good first knock up. Infernal Chains does get the Ragnarok out of Bono. Peanut with 9 seconds to go. No Requiem, remember. Baron secured by able to get in. That is a wasted ultimate on Gen G's side. It was trying to buy time, but it's not going to get anything. Another Final Spark comes in. Cube down to half health. Has to use the World Ender just to try and escape. 2 ultimates used to no avail on Gen G's side. Spells the death of the inhibitor first. Now potentially more. Blade Caller gets 2.
That's about all they got.
Yeah, well, Battle Dance is going to come forward, but doesn't find the grand entrance. Does get an exhaust out, but Ruler, he's going to lose his life. The heal does come in. He survives for the moment, but he has to get onto the fountain. Infernal Chains are going to be broken effortlessly from Hanwha as they look to chip down these Nexus turrets. And by chip, I mean obliterate. One of them almost to fall. It's only a Siege Minion auto attack, and that one's going to be taken. Peanut underneath this turret. These turrets does have some wave clear, but he needs to get rid of champions. He needs to get rid of Hanwha life. Otherwise, this is going to be all over. It's a desperate attempt at a fight here as Requiem's going to be utilized in the back line. It does go down, but it's just tickling these Hanwha members. Double kill already for Soan. The Nexus is going to fall as an afterthought by the looks of things as Sangyun is flashing onto Ruler. He's getting the autos onto Cube. The fountain is where you belong, gentlemen. As we're going to game 3, Hanwha showing signs of life.
Hanwha life, get that Olaf and make their Olaf draft work. Make their early tempo work. As things shook out at the end, just no way for these AD carries to get into fights. No relevance to make something like the Karthus work. The fact that he had no Dark Harvest stack, the fact that the fights happened later, it wasn't that he was doing wrong things, it's just that things weren't happening around the pick that meant the Karthus, the
a lot of
Jace
magic
would be
damage.
priority. And I was going to mention there, I had a moment that of the kind of traditional beat GP laners, the Vladimir was the obvious one available. They will go that way. So one's Rivenus, unfortunately. I think of solo queue and the bar is from the Vlad. I feel like
this opposite roles, exactly, as Sungyun immediately going to get ignited. Does have that shield available as Ruler flashes, gets it! The fadeaway jump shot auto, and that is first blood at 2 minutes!
The question mark pings are big, the teleport straight back to lane, but the blood on the hands, and Ruler, who went legendary 8-0.
His auto attack reset, his auto attack timer was there, and
it's beautiful to see, and actually listen to the comms here. See if G-Sun hears anything. I think he probably said, I got it.
And then nice serve. Ez is really low, is what he said.
And he was right. The gold, because the support's like, oh, good, I can initiate hard.
High life. He's going to find the dredge line. Okay, that's a very high-value stopwatch as Key gets out of the way. But look at that money swept into the death chamber. Sungyun follows his lane partner. We ain't done yet. Fate's call delivers life. Dredge line gets over to Bono, and immediately the flash in. Good kickback onto Cuvee as Bono goes down to 200. And now Gen G, they're just hungry for more.
And that's why it's a recipe to disaster. And someone doesn't have a turret. Why is he here?
Yep, they're trying to distract the Gen G members with control wards, and that does keep Ruler at bay for the moment. He wants to give some kills to the rest of his team. Very early Sanguine pull, and they've got a ward in here. Someone knows that he's dead. He's just trying to buy some time. Not going to be enough. Kuzan grabs his second. 2-0-1 for the Azir. Win seems to be the aim of the game. Oh my god, no one can hit Ruler with a skill shot whatsoever. Temp tries to dive on him. Of course the chains miss. Longest auto attack range of all time now as Peanut is going to miss another cocoon. Kuzan diving in. Does have the ultimate, but no flash. And Hanwha limp away, everyone feeling a bit sheepish.
I feel like I want to do that. Certain Calist is not bot side, and suddenly Cube's in strike.
Yep, Hemoplate comes in, Someone is tanking up this turret for a very long time. Tides of Blood comes through, it's all too easy as Someone Sanguine pull right at the end to pop that turret shot. The Gen G have other ideas in mind. They're very good at letting Cuvee die if that can get them more objectives around this map, and the B button was spammed by Hanwha, as you could see, but this inner turret is still going to go down. I swear there's some lag coming out of Kuzan, because that is another Emperor's Divide. Cure of the Rend will be there. Bono's going to have an inroad to try and get over here as Tempt gets into the pit at least. Peanut, of course, does have the rappel to get himself up into the air and still has the smite fingers. Really nicely done here from Gen G, but Tempt flashes forward. That's the stopwatch. Tempt now in trouble. The chains land, but it's all a bait. Tempt's going to go down as Ruler comes in. Kuzan stays alive with the cleanse available. And Tempt, it was an honest to goodness. The LeBlanc has to put her face in it, and there's a dredge line always waiting to try and catch her out of that. You can see right there, that trade does happen. Nexus turret number 1 is going to go down basically for free because Hanwha's tools just aren't there. This composition doesn't do that. Tempt has to try and dive to get through. True Shot Barrage goes over. Kuzan goes down to half health. Bono has to get into the back line, but has to immediately use his stopwatch as Sohan goes down extremely low. That's not the late game Vladimir that we've been seeing in other games as Cuvee uses the stopwatch that he just picked up and flashes to take down Sungyun. Gen G, 5 members alive as the Nexus falls, and they 2-1 Hanwha live.
Victory for Gen G, and in their victories they look good. Atlas game number 1 and game number 3. The bot lane hopping mad for Gen G there. Ruler feels good. He knows that he did his part. It's Telcom T1 just yet, and with their struggles, maybe there's a victory there, but there's some very hard opposition in the future for Gen G.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Gen G are the closest they've been to SKT since the 2017 World Championship. You know, it's a really strange feeling here in the LCK at the moment as far as how these standings are shaping up. Of course, a lot of people will be expecting, me included, that SKT